Welcome back, everybody. Comics Remixed episode 7.2. I'm Junior, aka Wade Wilson, alongside David Dirty Sanchez.
El Sucio.
Yep. Pints all night. Real quick, we recap last episode, breaking the fourth wall. Batman CGI movie coming to, or CGI TV show coming to Cartoon Network this fall. New Captain America director. They got rid of Joe Johnston for some reason, who got
Sons of bitches.
positive reviews and praise for his Captain America movie.
Just pay the man.
I don't know what it was. And the third one was Star Wars 7, 8, 9. Are they coming? Lucas says no, never.
No.
So that was previous episode, but we no longer focus on that. We focus on our debate, our talk, our combo for the week.
A few new releases. What did you pick up this Wednesday? Did you pick up AVX?
Yeah. You're asking me personally, because I sure as fuck did.
Well, you did?
Yeah.
What'd you do? What'd you
Come
do?
on,
Okay.
of course I did.
Actually, I picked it up, and it started off very well. I think this is one of those things where you get a good team working on it, and well, then you got two halves, right? You get two halves. It's split. My favorite team on this was actually the Bendis Cho. Thank you very much.
There you guys go.
Bendis and Cho do a great job introducing this book. I like the way Scarlet is being. I'm trying not to give away anything here, but there's a lot of dramatic scenes, and as you pointed out earlier before we started, Cho, he's known for his TNA.
Not the wrestling company either.
No, more anatomical.
He renders women very, very well.
But there's some dramatic scenes here. My very favorite is at the end of this first part, where there's an interaction with the Vision and Scarlet Witch, which is just fantastic. That's just great writing, and it's a great setup. And it's like, I wish that the book ended there, because the second half is more the X-Men half, and you have a lot of the interaction with Cyclops and Hope. I don't know if I should give any spoiler alerts, but it's I don't think there's a spoiler alert, but it's your classic daddy-daughter talk. And why is Cyclops so stupid? He is. He's just dumb. He's like he could lead a team, but he can't talk to some girl about, hey, you're gonna be the Phoenix and you might die.
I've been through this.
He's been through that situation so many times. He's led a team through near-death experiences. He's gone through the Phoenix Force issue a couple times now. It's just like, I wish I didn't read that second half. I mean, there's the other part to it. It ends up where, in a good spot where Cyclops and Captain have their interaction, and that was cool. Right. So it's kind of like cool, cool again. But you get through a lot of right there. I hear this Aaron guy. I'm not too familiar with his work. Can you point out
Jason Aaron?
Yeah.
He wrote Wolverine Weapon X, the series. It was a 14-15 issue series that takes place right after Wolverine Volume 2, 75. Or 74, I should say, because starting issue 75, they turned it into Dark Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
So this was like the replacement for it, while Dakin was starting the Wolverine book.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron is also responsible for the Vertigo title Scalped. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a good crime book. I haven't read too much of it, so I can't speak, but I know the series is ending very soon.
So it kind of sounds,
these great series do.
It kind of sounds like he's out of his element then. It sounds like he's done like
he's also writing. He's the writer of Incredible Hulk right now.
See, but that sounds more like if I just finished writing Weapon X, I could write a Hulk book. There's more hardcore stuff in there,
right? And
this is more. I don't know. I got to look through Scout then to see if there's any of that like personal relationship stuff in there, because I wasn't feeling it with this.
One thing
they just write Cyclops stupid sometimes.
One thing that I wanted to point out, that might have been Bendis' fault.
well, now that the only lead-in that I could get out of this is like, wow, I want to keep reading this series until Cyclops actually dies. Isn't he due for a death? Which is the series where he almost died, where he had the bomb implanted in him? Was it the Apocalypse?
Oh yeah.
No.
I remember that.
The last Apocalypse series was one time he was supposed to die, but he didn't. And then there was the one
He
with
was supposed to
the time
be
bomb.
Apocalypse reincarnated or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was as close as we got. But one thing I wanted to point out, if you've read my reviews on our Facebook page, I reviewed this book earlier in the week, and I also reviewed Avengers Assemble #1. Now, with Avengers Assemble #1, I said, you know, and I'm still sticking to this. Bendis is a great writer, but he's been writing the same characters for so many years now, and he stretches himself so thin, seeing as how he's writing all these different Avengers books. I think he's running out of steam as far as Avengers. I think he needs to take a break and focus on something he created that's late, like Powers. That book, dude, there was like, I don't know how many months gap between 7 and 8. You know, but like I said, I think Bendis is burnt out. But seeing as how he teamed with another writer for this issue, it gives me hope.
That explains. That probably explains why. I mean, that if you picked up AVX Zero, it was just it was a great way to start it off. It was just great, and especially how he ended his half was. I think it was solid. Bendis.
I think Bendis needs the crutch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least to help him get back in the back into it. 'Cause like I said, it's been over 10 years since he's been writing Avengers. Safe to say he's pretty much burned out, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I have nothing but respect for Bendis when I get
a great guy too.
People coming in to my apartment asking about Bendis. One book I always like to bust out is The Pro.
That wasn't Bendis.
That was Millar.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell did it again. Who penciled it?
Oh my god. Can we start this part over?
No, we're not starting it over.
Please, let's start over.
So, that's David's, I don't know why he jumped into this, because this wasn't the discussion, but there you go, Avengers X-Men Zero. You're just not on your A game today.
I'm not, man. Damn. I was at IKEA for like 2 hours.
So, you want to get back to our discussion?
Yeah, just jump in.
I
was joking. You could just get
just jumped into that.
Yeah.
Anyways, not saying that we're not reviewing books. I guess he had to get that out of the way. But the main thing we wanted to talk about this time was mainly Image, but all across the board, especially with Marvel and DC who are oversaturating it, the constant sellouts right now. And I don't mean going to the store and they don't have the book in stock, it's sold out. I mean the sellouts to the distributors. And the reason I say mainly Image is lately everything Image is publishing, especially with the new #1, people have been grabbing up in hopes that it's the new Walking Dead. Because Walking Dead #1 goes for about $600-700 near mint. I should know. Sold mine. I don't know if I was a dumbass for that or if I was smart, but either way, I got the money. My point is, like I just said, everybody's thinking it's the new Walking Dead, so everybody wants to jump in at the beginning. Can't blame them for it. But the problem with that is, for those of you that don't know, comic book stores have to put their order in 2 months in advance to Diamond, so they can get the orders ready and everything is solicited 2 months in advance. The problem with that is Joe Schmo will come in off the street maybe a week before the book is supposed to actually be released. You know, word of mouth, or he read something online. Hey, I want to add. Let's take Saga by Brian K. Vaughan #1 for an example. That book was so in our store, Dreamland Comics. That book didn't even make it to the rack. We didn't order enough copies. Now, it's not the store's fault. What happens is we don't know how these books are gonna go. You know, there's no telling. We can order 1,000,000 copies. I'm not gonna be sarcastic. We can order 100 copies or so, and it could just all sit there. Or it might be that hit, and it'll all sell out. We don't know. There's no way of knowing it. Marvel and DC have a better chance with things like that because usually the stuff they launch is based already around an established character. So it's easier to look at it that way. But like when you come out with a creator-owned project, you never know. And a good example of this, last month Image released a book called Alpha Girl. This book sold out. It's going for like $15 on eBay already. The first week. $2.99 cover price. #2 just came out this past Wednesday. You see that right there? Very first new this week sign? What does that say? On the bottom there, on that bottom rack, that book.
Oh yeah, Alpha Girl.
Alpha Girl number 2, sitting on the rack, collecting dust. That's an example of not knowing. No, number 1 sold out. It's going to get a second printing.
It doesn't look very exciting.
It's not.
That's why people go crazy about it.
From what I heard through Rick, one of the owners here at Dreamland. He said he took a copy of it home and he read it, and he said it was a dull read. It's about some girl who's all emo, nothing to our emo fans out there, you know. But he said some chick who's all emo, all she does is walk around, talking smack, smoking cigarettes, and eventually she'll kill a zombie or two.
So it's like if Ghost World met Zombieland or something?
You could say that, from what I understand. But that's my point. We don't know how these things are going to go. Now, with so many people, I go back to it because of just the impact it had in the short time. Saga number 1. Now, when number 2 comes out, we don't know if that's going to sell out or not. But we know a lot of people have been coming in. So when the second printing comes out, I think in 2 weeks, April 11th, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have more people coming in and pick up the second printing. Will that increase sales? Could this be the new Walking Dead? Who knows? Nobody knows. You know? And that's one of the problems. It's like, how do you determine what's going to sell? How do you determine how to base your orders up? Because a lot of retailers base their orders off their previous month's sales for that title.
What have you guys heard from your own customers?
For
that have already picked it up for Saga?
Nobody picked it up. It was sold out.
But yeah, exactly. Like, hey,
you know who picked it up? Me and one other subscriber. That's it. We had the rest of the subscribers that we had that picked it up. They were all online subscribers, so I don't interact with them.
Oh, so that you don't.
We only had like
feedback.
No, we only had like 2 or 3 copies left, and I got one because I subscribed to it, so I got mine, and one of our other subscribers got it. We didn't have enough to fill in for the rest of the subscribers.
Man, because that's part of it.
Not
the way to figure out the order is the feedback that you get from the first one.
Exactly.
I mean, had you known what you know now about the first Alpha Girl, that would probably help you out with your order the second printing.
Which I'm sure by the time issue 3 rolls around, we won't have ordered as many as we did for issue 2.
It's probably like a quarter.
But I don't want to say just we as in the store I'm at. This goes all around the board, all around retailers all over the world. No, it's just no way of knowing. How there's some sort of communication gap. The question is, how do we get Diamond to I don't want to say satisfy, but meet the demand for it, especially after the book comes out? Should they overprint things? But see, if they overprint things, then what happens is you get an Alpha Girl. It's just going to sit there, especially if it's not successful.
I think as a retailer, all you can actually worry about are the orders that you're going to put in, which that in itself is tricky because you have to find a way to establish a way that you get feedback from your customers.
Right.
Whether that's having them visit your websites and have some kind of a forum.
See, but it's not just that, though. I mean, like I said, for the books that haven't shipped yet, you know what I mean? Like, any number 1, how do you go about doing that?
Man,
the store, you can't blame the store.
Long term, you go by playing it safe.
Right.
And
so that's what I'm saying.
That's a regular number.
That's when the blame for the store does not come in.
Yeah.
Because the store cannot afford to over-order on something and just have it sit in their back room or discount it. They're going to be losing money.
Yeah.
So the whole question is, what can Diamond and said publisher do to satisfy the retailers in terms of printing? Now, a lot of the things they've been doing, especially DC and Marvel right now, more DC, is their second prints and the third. Justice League is on a 7th printing. Batman's on a 4th printing. Detective is on a 5th. Action Comics is on a 5th. Batman number 4 is on a 3rd printing.
I think when you get smaller publishers, they would keep riding that wave of people going just crazy about their number 1s until it gets to that point where they see that the consumers are dropping off.
Right.
I think that's their cutoff point.
See, now the collectors out there are always going for the first printings, which is why they're always so valuable. But I've got a lot of customers that come in here and they don't give a damn what printing they get. They just want to read the story. You know, so that might drop off price for the first printing as far as, you know, making them that much rarer. If you follow me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'll be more for the collector type market as opposed to the casual reader and general fan. So like I said, the problem lies within Diamond and the publisher getting the copies to the retailer, enough copies for the retailers, or should they just Diamond actually over order from the publisher and make sure they have in stock to be on the safe side to be there for their retailers if the retailers need to reorder something?
Yeah, I think the system is what it is. I think they'd rather make something more exclusive. You know, I don't think they'd ever go overboard with their printing unless demand tells them to.
Mm-hmm.
Underprinting is the way to go because that's also the way a retailer would like it, because then if it becomes valuable, then you can sell it for more money.
True. Now, one thing that irritates me about second printings, I mean, I'm a fan first, collector second. Don't get me wrong, I hate when people decide that they want to smudge my books and disrespect them, and your phone's ringing.
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer. It's cool.
It's IKEA calling.
This is good though, man.
This is IKEA.
This is a fan. This is a fan call.
Yeah.
Put on speakerphone. Fan, you're on the line.
Sorry.
So it's cool.
That's not a fan. It's IKEA.
But
who's at IKEA? Some very angry, spiteful woman.
the one thing that irritates me is let me back up. Like I said, I'm a fan first, collector second. But I do care about the condition of my books. I am one of those guys that have to have every cover if possible, you know, every printing, whatever. So I go back, I buy the second, third, fourth, whatever printings have you. My issue with it is if you're going to give me another printing, give me a new cover. Don't just recolor it.
Right.
I hate that. Especially the sketch covers. I remember. Oh,
so we're going back to. Well, okay, this is going back to the sketch cover.
Yeah, I was going to say. I remember a while back.
You can't let go of this. It's like me with Kitty Pryde.
I remember a while back you brought it up. You said, you know, it's cheaper to produce the sketch covers.
It is.
So I mean, I can understand as a second printing, but not as a variant.
In the long run, a second printing is not going to be as valuable as first printing. So why put so much cost?
That's
into it?
not true.
Oh, you think so?
I know so.
A first printing is a lot more rare.
I can give you proof.
Go ahead, shoot.
Batman number 608 second printing.
Okay.
And Batman number 612 second printing. Now, the 608 second printing, you might remember, that's the beginning of the Batman Hush storyline.
Yeah.
The first printing had the cover of Batman where he was like leaping and kicking. It looked like he was kicking the viewer, or the reader, I'm sorry. The second printing is the one that's based off the statue, the mini statue where he's standing on the corner of the building looking down with the gargoyle.
Oh, yeah. And then there's also the Superman one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The second printing to that Batman sells for almost 3 to 4 times as much.
Okay, alright. Well, yeah, that is a cooler cover.
The same thing with the second printing of 612. The difference being 612 second printing is a sketch cover.
Mm.
And it's the cover where Superman is beating the shit out of Batman.
I like that cover.
Yeah.
It's very realistic.
That's 2 examples. Sorry.
Because that's how my argument always goes.
Yeah.
If I were to put Superman and Batman head to head, I always get like Superman 70 out of the 100 fights.
Yeah. So
and it usually just comes out to pure brutality.
Pretty much.
And hypersonic speed.
And a kryptonite ring. But I mean, that's our argument for this episode. Sellouts, reprints. Are you for them? Are you against them? And what should the distributor do to help the retailer satisfy the fans? Because bottom line, fans can't buy the book, the retailer loses money. Retailer loses money, they order less from the distributor.
Yeah. See, that would come from the publisher. They're willing to pay somebody to create another cover. That's what it comes down to.
Or just to sell out in general.
Yeah,
you know?
It all goes back up to the publisher.
So it's like, well now, okay, how about this? Let's say a book goes to the second printing. Now, you have 2 printings out. Is that considered over-publishing? The same title. Because it's the same story, just a new cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that were the case, if they could sell out and have to do a second printing, don't you think they just overprint the first one?
Well,
especially with something that they know is going to sell out.
You want the buzz of the demand.
Okay.
You want to be like, man, this book is so awesome, reprinted it like 8 times.
Yeah, there are some out there like
that. That's buzz that any publishing company just drools over.
Yeah.
Because then you piggyback more marketing on top of that. You know, then you got magazines. You got anybody asking to want to speak. They want to have a sneak peek into the creative team. They want to talk about it. It's just buzz that creates more buzz.
Gotcha.
So if it does cost them more to have to go through so many reprints, the cost can't be that high when you measure it against how much money it'll make in the long run, because of how much sheer energy is being generated from it.
Right. Well, there you have it.
Just letting you know. That's how.
As always, you can put your comments, questions, concerns, and opinions on our Facebook page, facebook.com/comicsremixed. You can email us at comicsremixed@gmail.com. You can comment on the video that you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, Comic Remix on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Come follow us, talk shop, to give us your personal opinions. You have artwork. If you're a publisher yourself and want to spotlight something, want us to read something and have us critique it, we'll be happy to do that for you too.
Yep. Don't forget, 2 weeks away from C2E2. Go to c2e2.com for more details and ticket prices. I want to thank Dreamland Comics for letting us film here on location, 1415 Schaumburg, Illinois. Contact the store, 847-524-6060. You can order from us at dreamlandcomics.com for another episode of Comics Remixed. I'm Junior, a.k.a. Wade Wilson.
I'm David Sanchez.
We will see you back here for episode 7.3. Peace.
Yeah, I love you. I know you're angry. I'm going to pick you up right now. Bye-bye.